Hello and welcome to episode number 10 of my Kazuha Fanart series. This is actually the last one, so it's the finale. Yeah, I know. This one's only like 10 episodes long, whereas the Viewpoint series that I made a while ago, that has 17 episodes, but there was animation involved, whereas this one, the Kazuha one, this one's not going to be animated, so that's why. So no eye blink or anything like that, sorry. In this episode, I will actually showcase a simple background, because unfortunately, when I got up to this point, I only had 2 days left. So, and I didn't want to miss the deadline for the Kazuha fan art competition with actual prizes, right? So, I had to submit it as it is. So what you see at the end of this video is what I submitted it as. If you look carefully, there's actually space I could have added another character in. If I had way more time, I would have actually added Goro in there, since Goro is one of Kazuha's best friends, basically. He has quite a few best friends anyway. The only thing is though, is I don't know if adding another character to this image would have actually increased the chances of me winning anything, because I've already spoiled the fact that I did not actually win anything after taking part in the competition. So I have no idea if I'd ever actually win anything if I did a 2-character picture instead of it being just one. Also, if I had more time, I would love to add see-through curtains in the background with the window, because having see-through objects seems to make artwork look a lot nicer. And also, I want to put food items on the table as well, just to show that Kazuha is not just drinking green tea and that's it. So in other words, I want to add more detail to the image, but obviously because of time restraints I can't put them in. So yeah. Oh yeah, there's this SNES game. It's also on the Mega Drive as well, and it's where there's this video game called Cool Sport, right? And I still own the SNES cartridge. I can even post it on screen. Someone got me it as a present a long time ago, and yes, I actually still own it, right? And it's a pretty good game, by the way. Some parts of the game doesn't really make much sense. And it's where one of the best things about this game is the ending, and it's where, I kid you not, at the ending, it's like, it literally says, oh, take a photograph of this and send it to the official company so that you can receive your prize. And back when I got that ending for the first time, by the way, you have to play on hard mode in order to get this ending. You don't get anything on easy or normal. It just tells you, oh, you have to play it on hard in order to get the prize. Whereas if you beat it on hard, basically it comes up with this. And it's where what the prize is that you get a Cool Spot toy, and it has like this winding thing on the back, and when you wind it back and then let go, he actually walks forwards in the same way he does in the game. It's so funny. It's like, holy moly. Now obviously I don't have the toy because I was given this SNES cartridge like way after it was released. So obviously the price isn't going to be there. Imagine if it's where I just got a prize through the post. I was just like, oh, sorry, this is us, the official company, Virgin Games. We forgot to give you one, SilverHunterN. So I was like, oh, thanks. Imagine if that actually happened. That'd be like the best ending ever. Now, one of the most surprising things about this game is that there's no bosses in it. You come across a lot of annoying enemies. Some of them are quite easy though, but there's no bosses in it. And another fun fact is that you start off in like a beach resort on the first level, and the very last level is also a beach resort. So it's like you're going around in a circle. I think it's where the second to last level is very similar to the second to last level. And likewise, the second level is a similar area to the second to last level. So I think it's that way around, and I think it's where the third level is similar to the third to last level. So I think you're actually going in a mirror sort of way. But obviously the level layout's different. So I think it's as if you're going around in a circle or something. So yeah. Oh, there is actually a sequel to Cool Spots on the SNES. And there was this one that's called Sports Goes to Hollywood. And there's a Mega Drive version and a PlayStation 1 remake that's actually in 3D, right? But I'll mostly talk about the PlayStation 1 remake because that one's like mostly better. And it's where I've not played the PlayStation 1 Cool Spot game, but that one actually has FMVs in it. So I was like, wow! I did check out the PlayStation 1 Cool Spot game, but I will say that there is one downside to this game, and it's where the gameplay graphics is a little bit fuzzy. I think that might be because of the way the guy recorded the game, I'm not sure. But it's where in Spot Goes to Hollywood, there's fighter plane segments. Yes, Cool Spot actually rides a fighter plane and actually shoots enemies. So I thought, oh wow, so that's actually different. And yes, there's actual boss fights in the PlayStation 1 Cool Spot game. I was like, oh wow, because back on the SNES game that I've still got the cartridge to, there's no boss fights in that one. But in the PlayStation 1 remake that originally was on the Mega Drive, Spot Goes to Hollywood, it's where there's actual boss fights in the PlayStation 1 game. I did spoil the ending to Spot Goes to Hollywood, and it is an FMV ending, which I'm happy about, but sadly, you do not win a prize in reality like you would in the SNES version. But even then, there was a limited supply for the Cool Spot toys, so I don't think the developers would afford to be able to give out toys for every single game they make, because I don't think it's really fair for a company to go, okay, here's a real prize every single time they make a game, do they? Because that's not really fair. I think the SNES Cool Spot game is the only one that actually does that. So, yeah. Now, I could actually buy the Cool Spot Goes to Hollywood game, the PlayStation 1 version. I can buy it, but it's like $24.99. And I'm like thinking, that's a bit expensive. But then again, I've come across pre-owned games online that cost over £100 pre-owned. It's like, well, after seeing a Cool Spot game that's £24.99 pre-owned for PlayStation 1, that's actually pretty cheap compared to other games. So I just thought, yeah, I don't know if I want to buy it or not. I don't know. I haven't decided yet, but, I have read the description online, what Cool Spot Goes to Hollywood, right? And it's where basically Cool Spot jumps inside of a movie projector and there's like worlds inside of them. So he basically jumps from film to film and he fights against bad guys in them. So for instance, in the first few levels you are on a pirate ship, so you fight against pirate enemies. And then there's like, at one point there's like a horror house that you go to, and it's where you fight against horror enemies. But because obviously Cool Spot is for like youngsters to adults, it's where they can't make it too scary. So I'm guessing that it's not gonna have blood in it, obviously, because that would be going too far for something that a 5-year-old's gonna be playing. So yeah, one of the areas is a place called an adventure island of some sort. It's because it's a bit hard to judge what's in the game because I've not played it for myself, but I have seen that little snippets of it, so that's the thing. So it's a bit hard to be able to talk about something I've not played. Most people would probably be asking me, oh, are you going to do a Cool Spot Let's Play? Believe it or not, I actually want to, but I don't have a very good way to record it, because I did mention this ages ago in a very old video, and it's where my SNES console's broken. Now, some people would argue saying, oh, well, why don't you just buy a SNES console? Like, obviously they're going to be pre-owned by now. And it's like, but the problem with buying pre-owned items, like a Super Nintendo Entertainment System, that's what SNES stands for, is that when you turn it on, it works fine. And then after like a month, it like breaks. Because once someone, this was not me by the way, once someone bought a pre-owned car, and it broke after like one day. And it's like, yeah, I think that was because it was pre-owned, or the person who sold the car to someone else obviously didn't want to tell them, oh yeah, it's nearly broken. That's the problem with buying pre-owned items. So I still got the SNES cartridge to Cool Spots, so I'm just like thinking, how do I actually record it? I'll try and figure out a way. But obviously I've still got my Devil May Cry 5 Let's Play to finish off, because I'm not even halfway through that yet. So yeah, there's that. I would love to buy the Cool Spot game that's on PlayStation 1, because I still have a PlayStation 2 that actually works. So I could do like an off-screen play of that game and then try and do a Let's Play of it, because I do not like doing Let's Plays on games for the first time, because otherwise you'll just see me be stuck for like half an hour. And it's like, oh, so that's how you solve that one puzzle, sort of thing. So that's why I'd rather just practice a game than do a Let's Play on it. And I usually play it on a harder difficulty if I played it once, because on Devil May Cry 5 Let's Play that I've been doing, I'm playing it on the Son of Sparta mode, but I have unlocked nearly everything in the game, so that's why. And I can't do New Game Plus, so that's why. So at least I'm leveling it out. Oh, here's a big one. It's where there's a new operating system called Windows 11, and it's where Windows 10 is no longer supported after the year 2025. So I'm like thinking, oh no, because what's going to happen to Adobe Flash, because I like using that a lot. And that actually runs on Windows 7 and Windows 8 and Windows 10, oddly enough. Even though it said on the back of the box it only works with Windows 7, but oh well. So I'm like thinking, oh no, because what's going to happen to a lot of my Steam games as well? Because there's compatibility issues between Windows 10 and Windows 11, so I thought, oh no. Now what I could do is buy a Windows 11 laptop for like £800 and then just keep the PC at Windows 10. Because in that way at least I've got my favourite programs on Windows 10 still. I have read that Windows 11 has a very good performance compared to Windows 10 and before, but I feel like they might have just said that just to get people to join the bandwagon of, oh look, we love Windows 11. So, you know. What I also could do is buy a Windows 11 laptop, check if Flash runs on it, like I did with Windows 10, and if it does run it, then that's great, I could stay with Windows 11. If it doesn't, then I'll have to just keep the Windows 10 PC as it is, because I don't like the sound of changing operating systems, that's all. So yeah. Oh yeah, there's this cosplay event I'm actually going to go to in September 2023, and it's where there's this York one I want to go to at the York races, and I'm definitely going to go to that one. The best thing is that the tickets for this one is only £10, but there is like a priority ticket you can get, but it's like £12. And it's where one of the actors from Lord of the Rings is actually going to be there, and it's the guy who does King Theoden. I'd imagine that there's going to be a huge queue when I get there. Because the last time I went to the cosplay event that was at York Races, it's where there were two actors from Red Dwarf that were there. One of the actors was Chris Barry, who does Hologram with the H on his forehead, and Danny John Jules was there, the guy who does Cats, you know, the one with the big fangs. They were both there for quite a while, and it's where the funniest thing is that there was a huge queue for them, and even when they were on break, is where people were still queuing up, so obviously I didn't get the opportunity to be able to talk to them, and it's like, oh wow. Just imagine if someone like Elijah Wood was there. Yeah, I think the queue would go all the way straight to another town. So when it comes to the next York cosplay event, I'll just have to find out how long the queue will be queuing up for King Theoden. It might even be longer than last time, but we'll just have to just find out later on. Well, this is the very last minute of the Kazuha drawing showcase. So I will say that this competition, although I did not win anything in the end, is where I did have fun mostly out of doing this, because if I really didn't have fun, then I wouldn't really be making this at all. Because one of the reasons I wanted to do this was because I actually like drawing, as you can tell. So there's that. But like I mentioned earlier, it does take a lot of time out of me. So the chances of me doing another video series like this, especially with the Genshin Impact character, we'll just say it's like less than 10%, because there's a lot of competition out there. Because in the Kazuha competition, it's where there was over 200 entries. So I thought, the problem with joining competitions is that I'm always going to be up against 200 other people, and there can only be like 10 or 20 winners, so there's like 9% chance of me actually winning anything, so that's why. Anyway, I'll end off the video right here, since this is the end. Thank you for watching the video. If you want to actually show your support, you may tick like, share, or subscribe to my channel. You can even do all three of them if you want to. So yeah, and with that, I'll end off the video. So thanks you for watching.